Hi, I'm Jamie,
I'm Kate.
and we're here to talk about Prairie Lotus by Linda Sue Park. So we can see we have our little demonstration of that time period.
How she covered her face with the hat when she went to school.
Yeah. So this was obviously not an adult book, but it was a really good read.
Yeah, it was.
So my first thoughts was I'd been wanting to read this because it was on a lot of lists that I see of great books to read. And I thought, I'm always game to read middle grade books because they're usually pretty quick reads and usually really good. And this is history. I love the 1800s and the prairie history of prairie times. So thought that it would be good.
It was like an Asian Little House on the Prairie.
Yes.
I mean, she kind of says that too.
Yeah, she does. The girl in it is Chinese, so it's half Chinese. Her mother was Chinese and her father was. So back then it was. Yeah, that was just part of like the Indians, there was racism against them.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
And she kept saying half Chinese, but then her mom was actually half Chinese, half Korean.
So she was
like
even more
a quarter, truly a quarter Chinese and a quarter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But grew up totally in America, obviously, and during that time. But she first was born and grew up right like Los Angeles area where they had like Chinatown and lots of people, a community, so it didn't seem probably as hard to assimilate because you had people around you that looked like you and that were just like you. Yeah.
It's kind of like that now. I mean, there's more diversity on the coasts.
Yeah, for sure. So. For sure. America's here. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, overall I've really enjoyed it too.
It was good. I mean, it was basically set, they were coming across to the Dakotas I think they kept, her and her dad, so her mother had passed away, her and her dad kept moving to find, to open a store, to find a life, I think where she wouldn't have issues with the people, like where she wouldn't, They
wouldn't have issues with her,
right,
there wouldn't be trouble, as they kept saying.
And she hadn't been able to go to school because her dad, I think, never thought, like, you should do that, like, that's going to cause trouble. So this town, she finally talked to them about going to school, and it just seemed like a lot came together for her finally.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if, like, in the other towns they stopped, it didn't fit right? Was it either, like, they already had everything they needed, there wasn't, like, a place that they could do their business?
Right.
Or I don't know.
Or the trouble started too soon and they couldn't she just felt, or her dad felt something.
Because she would always hide when they got somewhere.
Yeah.
So
she would make sure he would go out. But they knew someone in this town, helped them get to it. So maybe a connection sometimes helps. So they had a store with dress goods and she would sew dresses and things like that. So that was cool.
Like trade.
Mm-hmm.
I always think it's interesting hearing about the food. I always try to make lists of food in every book I read, but she talks about the oranges and how she had them like plentiful in California, and how some people didn't know what that even was or what it would even taste like.
Never tasted one. And I remember Laura in Little House, like they have it on Christmas, like it was such a big deal.
It was a gift.
Yeah. And for her to be like, I had one all the time. Just depending on where you lived in the country.
It was such a Christmas time type of thing. Like people would get a crate as a gift.
Yeah.
Is that because that was like seasonal?
Probably. Because if you think about the fruits, we just have everything here because it comes from all over the world. Right. But we don't realize how really there's only things that are in season. That would be all you could eat.
Yeah.
Couldn't have a banana and an orange all year. We couldn't even have that here because they don't grow here.
Right. There was also lemonade. A drink made from jujube fruits.
Oh yeah, jujube. I was thinking of the candies when I saw that.
Moon cakes, which reminds me of, there's a movie. Is it a Netflix movie where? Anyway, they talk about moon cakes. Her family makes moon cakes. Grapes, oranges, tangerines.
Yeah.
But speaking of food, her mom always said that you feed people.
Yes.
Like when they had guests come for parties or whatever, they would like send food home with people, and I like that.
Yeah. She often remembered what her mom would say as she was like encountering people, like when she encountered people on her path, or she would just always say, oh yeah, Mama would say to do this, and
she would say, for the person who is sour, do something sweet.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. At the very end, she comes up with her own saying.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I had. Yeah.
Tea with friends is a feast for the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so, you could just put that so many ways. Just, yeah. Being with friends is it's huge. Yeah.
Community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was good.
That reminds me of this quote that her mother said. You remember what I said about when you feel sad, miss me too much, or feel angry. You stop thinking about yourself. That's where the sadness is inside you. You look outside instead at other people.
Mm-hmm.
You do things for other people. It fills you with good feelings, less room for the bad ones. Mm-hmm. And Hannah says, I think she's saying to her mom, spirit kind of.
Yeah.
I can't do that. And, her mom's kind of talking to her.
Mm-hmm. When she hears her mom's voice, that voice you hear.
Always it starts with one thing, one small thing. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about how we talked about do the next right thing. Yeah. It's sort of that same.
Yeah. When you're serving others, you're not focused on yourself. You're focused on that, and that really helps your heart a lot.
Yeah.
I find that helps me a ton.
Yeah.
I'm just doing for others. Yeah.
There's a balance.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You don't want to do that all the time, but I think it is helpful for you to be able to do that. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, there was another quote her mom said. Sometimes beautiful things aren't for buying, they're for dreaming. Mm. When Hannah's trying to convince her dad to get some of those bolts of silk or other stuff.
Cashmere, things that are too fancy for, these kind of town. Yeah.
But you just have them because they're fun to look at or whatever.
Yeah. So the biggest thing on this book was the author at the end kind of made note of why she wrote this book. Mm-hmm. And she's Korean, right?
I think Korean.
Yeah. So she talks about, which was totally interesting to me, Little House on the Prairie books, which I love all those and obsessed with the show and everything. But she talked about how this was kind of written, obviously Laura Ingalls Wilder wrote those, she grew up in that time, wrote those books a long time ago, so that sense of racism, I feel like, was a lot different in her tone than she wanted to make in this book. She wanted to change the tone of that, I feel like. Even though she loved those books, but as a Asian descent person, I feel like she probably felt that way. But she talked about how she modeled this town after like DeSmet, South Dakota, and I've been to DeSmet now, and so I can picture, all the stuff about it. Was just interesting. She really did her research. She went to all these places. She went to Mansfield, Missouri, where they also, where Laura wrote all those books, and just. It was just interesting how much she really went into the detail, which was good. Yeah. I liked that part of it.
And I think she says like a lot of towns were set up in that same way. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, the store and it was just it was really cool to picture all that. I was like, okay, this all makes sense. Like,
and you called that racism or contextual
racism. Yeah. Well, like we're gonna read Tom Sawyer, and they talk about how there's contextual racism in Tom Sawyer
because it's just like how
in the context of that time period. Yeah, and you almost can't.
Language.
I don't think they were trying to. Today we see it offensive, and it was, and we don't want to treat people that way, but to just not negate it completely. Those stories, because there is something to those stories too.
You can learn from it instead of just
seeing how racism affected people, and
but we experienced that when we read Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, exactly. And still there was so much in that book, and we know now how that has changed and how we don't want to repeat history, I guess, in that manner, but learning from it. If we never knew it, we would never be able to learn from it. So I thought that was really good.
So if you read this, haven't read it already, the author's note at the end,
it's like it brings it all together.
Yeah, it does.
You're like, okay, I get it. Yeah.
And there's this one section at the very beginning where they talked about something, she called it Yansam, Yansam, and I tried looking that up, and I couldn't figure it out because nothing, the way it's spelled in this book is not anything in real life. But in the author's note, she says it was ginseng, basically.
Yeah.
And I can't remember was it the Indians or someone else or her dad was saying that, I don't know.
Yeah, that was
part of
because they encountered Indians quite a bit, and it was interesting to see her interactions with them.
Because she researched all of the native people's stuff
into the specific tribes. Like she wanted to be accurate in how she labeled everything, which was good. I think that's great.
Yeah, and she used the language that they would have used. Like in Little House on the Prairie, Laura didn't include that.
Right.
In this, she did.
Right.
There was another part about, what was it? Oh, when they talk about the Indians needed a pass to travel from like their reservation to other parts.
Yeah.
So I looked into that, and what I could find in my brief research on the interwebs was that there wasn't an official pass system in the United States, but there was in Canada.
Okay.
And I saw some like pictures of passes that they would have, like I'm traveling to see my kids in the industrial schools or something.
Kind of like a passport type thing that we have now.
Right.
Just because that's the way the borders were, not like borders, but that's how it was. Yeah, they had to show that they were traveling. Yeah.
So I don't know if either, because this was set in the U.S., so either she just kind of pulled that and it's not super historically accurate, or maybe just what I didn't find this stuff when I was looking.
Right, that's true. But just something that was still historically accurate, like you said. It wasn't just
maybe not in the right location.
Yeah. She talked about like parts of her book based on the Los Angeles riots, and she talks about the gold rush at Pikes Peak, all those stuff. She kind of tells you everything that was based on historical events, which is good.
I would read a sequel if there was one.
Yeah, no. I think it could be like a little series. I thought it was really good. Yeah.
But she doesn't seem to be a series writer. The author.
Yeah.
And this is like different than other things that she's written.
Yeah, she's a Newbery Medal winner for another couple of other books.
So I did put that one on my list of things to read, or maybe possibly read. A Single Shard. Yeah, it's good to have this. Like she talks about the diversity, and especially in kids' books, because it's not like they can completely understand it, but just introducing them to those kind of historical things, could be good. So what did you rate it? I think I rated it 3.5.
That's what I did.
Because
like really liked it, but I was like 4 is like, you get too much. I just want to reserve that for. Yeah,
I said I really liked it, but I can't call it love.
Love, yeah, exactly.
Because like 4 was love it.
Yeah. There's some books when I finished, I'm like, oh, and I was like, this was really good, but I wasn't like, you gotta get the same.
But it's hard with middle grade. For a middle grade fiction, I think it was 4.
Yeah, it was very top level for sure. Yeah. If you're like studying this time period for your homeschool, I would read this.
For sure. It's a different.
Just like a different Little House. Like it's just a different take. Yeah, which is great. Great. So.
I think that's all.
Yeah.
I had.
This is a short one.
Yeah.
But good. Check it out.
Okay.
So keep on reading, raising, and praising. See ya.